Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining in tonight. Welcome all Mandela effectings. Hey guys, so I have found yet another huge Mandela effect, I think. This is dealing with Romans 8:28. It is a famous line that everyone knows. And the line goes, actually the verse from Romans 8:28, King James, "And we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose." However, in this reality, it now says to them who are the called. Who is? Okay, listen to it. Listen to the way it sounds in this reality. I'll show you in just a second. Okay. But anyway, and this is the way I remember it. To them who are called according to His purpose, not the called. So check this out. This is some residue that Erin found me. She showed me a picture with it underlined. This is out of a book. Um, it says here, "We know that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called according to His purpose." Right out of the good book. Um, but yeah, this is what I underlined. I'm gonna mark this one actually in pink because I know it's changed. "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose." Now, if you look at it in other translations, let's see, some other translations are using the words "the called." BRG says "who are the called." Um, it wasn't the called. That much I can tell you. Um, I mean, could this be a mismemory? Yes, it could be. I'm trying to see what you guys think. To those, let me see if I could search for it real quick. The called. Okay, so if you look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 translations say the called. They're trying to confuse us. If you listen to it, it doesn't even sound right. "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called, according to His purpose." So, I mean, yeah, even though we are the called ones to come to God, it still shouldn't say the called. It should say those who are called according to His purpose. And then right after that verse, they're talking about predestination. I don't remember predestination being in the Bible. It was a theory. That's what I remember. Brought up by a minister way back in the day. But yeah, this verse I believe has changed, and I found some residue. It says right here, this is a "Destiny in Empty Places" by Apostle Wanda Williams. Okay, right here, King JV, Romans 8:28. "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose." That's what I remember. And it says here in this book, "Asking God Your Hardest Questions" by Lloyd John Ogilvy. And we know that God keeps working everything together for good for those who love God, who are called according to His purpose. I know that may not be King James, but I don't remember the called. This is another one. "Don't Leave It to the Dogs" by Michael Ray Van. And Romans 8:28 King James. Right here it says, look, let me zoom in. This is on goodness, sorry. Romans 8:28, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose." Not the called. It says right there, KJV. This has to be a change. This is a King JV or KJV Foundation Study Bible ebook. And check this out. "God did send me." Okay, "God often permits the wicked to carry out their evil plans in order to fulfill some larger purpose He has for the objects of their violence and cruelty. Since it is not possible for us to see the whole picture from God's perspective, we must exercise faith and believe that the God of all the earth will do right, and that things do work together for good to those who love God, who are called according to His purpose." Amen. And Joseph was able to freely forgive his brothers partly because he recognized that their sin had been turned by God into something good. So there's always something good that comes from something bad. Remember that. This book is called Rejected, Overcoming Rejection and Claiming Your Acceptance by Jessica Hutton. And it says right here, this is the King James Version, Romans 8:28 through 31. And we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. For whom did he foreknow? He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom did he predestinate? Them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? And that's from Romans 8:28, okay, through 31. Here is another book. This is the Essential Evangelical Parallel Bible, the New King James Version. Okay, this even New King James. Let me look that up briefly. Let's see. The Authorized King James. Okay, yeah, even the New King James says the same thing. To those who are the called, according to his purpose. But here in this book right here, it says, yeah, this is from the New King James. Check it out. This is a study guide. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Amen. So I'm looking just a quick search on Twitter, and people are buzzing about this. All things work together for good, for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. I mean, it's all over the place. I did show you this picture from the beginning. This says Romans 8:28 King JV, and this person remembers to them who are called according to his purpose. So I'm just saying. And then there's a minister. I have a minister, Pastor John Piper, on let's see when this was, September 3rd, 2013. He's saying it the way I remember it too. Check this out. Listen to his sermon.
Tribulation, distress, persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, sword, slaughter are more than defeated. They are captured, enslaved, and made into servants of the people of God to do you good all your days. Isn't that the meaning of your beloved verse 28? We know that in everything God works for good with those who love him. We're called according to his purpose, or as the King James says, we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Whatever version you're looking at, wouldn't you agree that what...
So, you guys could check that out. You're welcome to YouTube that one, Called According to His Purpose by Pastor John Piper. He says it right there about 2 minutes and... You saw it was about 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. He says, the King James Version says, and I don't know the Bible like the back of my hand, okay, excuse me, you know, but I do know that verse, and it never said who are the called, in my opinion. So anyway, guys, I'm just wondering what you had to say, because I mean, just by adding that one word, the, it changes the entire sentence. So yeah, thanks for checking me out, guys. Have a great Mandela Effect night, and God bless.